Edgar Berlanga thinks Terence Crawford can't be counted out in a fight against Canelo Alvarez at 168.
You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
Berlanga recently faced Canelo and knows how it feels to be in the ring with the Mexican legend. Despite showing heart, Berlanga fell short and lost to Canelo via unanimous decision. With Berlanga out of sight, the fight between Canelo and Crawford has once again come to fuel, and Berlanga believes that even though Canelo has the size advantage, one cannot count out Crawford. Berlanga said, "I truly believe anything can happen in boxing, and Terence Crawford is a legend. He's a great fighter. The only thing that I see that favors Canelo is his weight, and he's way bigger. That's the only thing. As far as skill set and IQ, Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. Crawford is a legend, bro. You can't count him out." However, Mike Tyson says he doesn't like the idea of Terence Crawford jumping up to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez for his 3 titles in that weight class.
Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight.
Iron Mike Tyson notes that Crawford didn't look good in his last fight, moving up from 147 to 154 to battle Israil Madrimov for his WBA junior middleweight belt on August 3rd. Tyson says Madrimov was big, and Crawford shouldn't have fought him. Speaking on the It Is What It Is podcast, former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson said unequivocally that it was too big of a weight jump for Bud. Mike said, I don't like that fight. I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight. He had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Madrimov, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would come straight at him. When Crawford was recently questioned about Canelo's performance against Berlanga, he responded, "First I went to the Canelo-Berlanga fight, and then I went to the UFC fight. I think Canelo put on a great performance like he always does. Canelo was Canelo. I think Berlanga put on a tremendous show as well. He showed a lot of heart and great determination as well, and it made for a great fight." After Crawford defeated Israil Madrimov at 154 pounds, his first fight over the distance in 8 years, some analysts wondered if his increasing success was dulling the edge of his own strength. Against the much larger Canelo, that will be more evident. The 36-year-old Omaha resident reaffirmed his ambition in the same interview, despite the cautions raised by others in the boxing community. Crawford said, "I've been wanting the fight. It's a legacy fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like the fight is the last of the Mohicans. I think the fight would be massive. You've got 2 guys who are top 3 pound for pound going head-to-head together. I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the challenge." When asked if he can beat Canelo, Crawford said, "It's all respect. And if he does decide to come my way and we get in the ring, then it would be an electrifying fight. Of course I'll beat him. There is no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't beat anyone I step in the ring with." Crawford has achieved many big things in boxing, but victory over Canelo would be his biggest accomplishment. The super middleweight world champion has only tasted defeat twice, against Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, and it's the Bivol battle that Crawford's trainer Bomac McIntyre will be studying if a fight between Crawford and Canelo takes place. He said, "He made him move his feet. If the fight ever materialized, that's the fight that I would go back and watch. I'd look at Mayweather versus Canelo too." Crawford's showing against Madrimov wasn't the most decisive. Looking into a possible matchup against Canelo, many believe that the Mexican would be too much for Crawford. Roy Jones Jr. shared his views about this fight, saying, "With Canelo, I like Terence, but I'm going to lean towards Canelo with his size early, but if he lets Terence get into the fight, Terence going to be a problem, and if Terence can deal with the size, Terence will beat him." Roy Jones was then asked how Bud would deal with Canelo's power, to which he replied, "That's what I'm saying. We don't know until we see Terence get hit, because we haven't seen him get hit with that power. That's the deciding factor. If you can change Bud's fight plan, you got a chance of beating him, but if you can't hurt him, you can't change his fight plan, and you got problems." Paulie Malignaggi also advises Crawford to stay at 154 and fight the likes of Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, and Tim Tszyu. While Crawford is not the physically strongest fighter at 154 pounds, Malignaggi believes that his exceptional boxing IQ and skills allow him to compete with anyone in the division. However, he cautions that it is not without risk, given Crawford's age of 36 and the highly competitive nature of the 154-pound division. Paulie stated, "Crawford's not necessarily the strongest of fighters at 154 lbs, but his IQ's so high that he can compete with anyone there, just not without risk. He's in a very competitive division, and he's 36 years old. The prospect of him fighting Tim Tszyu, Sebastian Fundora, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Serhii Bohachuk or Madrimov again is very appealing. But current unified heavyweight champion and fellow pound-for-pound great Oleksandr Usyk said that he would expect the naturally smaller man to get his hand raised. He said, "I like Terence. He's a crazy man. Terence wins. Listen, Terence is a different man. Terence works on two sides. Right and left, he's a very smart man. He feels distance and space. Canelo is a big, good boxer, but I say Terence can box him like a big guy." Dmitry Bivol is a huge admirer of Terence Crawford, and he believes the Nebraska man could come up with a way to beat Canelo Alvarez. He said, "I remember when I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was you should respect weight classes, but Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has good skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something. He knows already what to do. His coach knows. They will find a solution to how to do it." But Carlos Adams, who sparred with Terence Crawford, believes that Terence shouldn't be fighting Canelo right now. He thinks that Canelo punches really hard and it will be dangerous for Terence's boxing career.
Pienso que sí, ya que subí 3 divisiones bastante libre, demasiada yo diría. Pienso que no es algo que él lo necesita ahora mismo. Crawford en su carrera ha demostrado que es un buen peleador, pero pienso que no tiene que estar corriendo esos grandes riesgos, porque no solamente pone su carrera en riesgo, también pone su vida, porque un golpe de Canelo le puede hacer daño de por vida.
I don't think Crawford needs the Canelo fight right now. I think it's kind of needless for Crawford because his reputation is well cemented, and a punch by Canelo could not only be dangerous for him to lose the fight, but it could be dangerous for his life. So no need for Crawford to cross the line into such a heavyweight class.
The two-time super lightweight world champion Regis Prograis says the weight is too much, something he has told Crawford many times. He stated, "I definitely want to see it for sure, but I don't think he can win. I definitely don't think he can win. I tell Crawford all the time I just don't think. They make weight classes for a reason. This last dude he fought was hitting him stuff, and that dude was a 54-pounder, so I feel like that might be the ceiling for Terence Crawford." He further added, "Styles do make fights, but Canelo is not just a big puncher. I think that somebody like Crawford, how skilled he is, if Canelo was just a big puncher, he might outbox him. But Canelo is skilled also. For me, I just can't see him beating him. I can't see the fight happening anyway." Daniel Jacobs believes it will be a stern test for Crawford, who has expressed the desire to move all the way up to 168 pounds to fight Canelo Alvarez. Jacobs, who fought Canelo to a unanimous decision loss in May 2019, is giving Crawford a chance against Alvarez if the super bout were to ever happen. He stated, "Skills sometimes pay the bills, and we know for sure that Crawford has the skills over Canelo. It's just sometimes power, weight, and experience may have a factor in that, so it will be a good test for Crawford, but I think the fans are the winner in that particular fight." Ryan Garcia is not a big fan of Terence Crawford. Ryan believes that Terence is an overhyped fighter. He said, "Terence Crawford is not like that. Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum. I'm sorry, but somebody has got to say it. You're an overhyped bum. I'm looking at the camera right now, you bro. Stop acting like you're like that. Stop stealing boxing's money, wasting everybody's money. You're not entertaining. You're boring as Claressa Shields backed Crawford to win if the fight happens in the future. She stated, "I think the last few fights I've seen Canelo slow down a little bit. Team Crawford, me. It's going to be a good one, but Canelo, he's number 2 pound for pound. Pound for pound number 1 is Crawford, and that's skill-wise." But Jim Lampley said Crawford is too small for Canelo after he beat Berlanga convincingly. Lampley mentioned Crawford's fight against Madrimov and said that Crawford is not big enough to go toe-to-toe with Canelo.
What do you think about the fight now that you just witnessed Canelo Alvarez again in the masterclass performance?
I love Terence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting Madrimov, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough, and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots.
So what are your thoughts about this situation? Do you want to see a Canelo-Crawford fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.